Hey fam, this is James. Just wanted to kind of make a quick late night video. It's not really that late, but every day is different, I swear. Decided to venture out, as you saw in my previous videos, and I had to go take care of some business, and it didn't work out the way that I wanted to, but unfortunately, fortunately, I got to see and participate in some things. It's funny because when I was in jail, I actually read a news article about how the city was removing the homeless population from their civic center and their city hall in Santa Ana, and the homeless were trying to figure out a place to go. And I was just surprised that there was so many camped out, from the picture I saw in the newspaper. And so today, I just happened, the grace and will of the Creator, kind of led me into that area, into that space. I was about to leave, and I just happened to say something. Said, "Hey, why don't you just check it out?" Checked it out. Ended up staying the entire day, and just fell asleep there all as well. I took a nap on, in the community, and it really is like a small community. Even though they're homeless, they get along, they talk with each other about many different things. They're like, it's like they get food. People just show up, dropping food off. I was told that that doesn't happen all the time. On the weekends, it does. But I got 3 square meals today. It was just an abundance of food and, sustenance. And so I made a couple of videos about that, just showing that, there are some beautiful people out there. I will admit that while I was standing in line, I got attacked a couple times, 3 or 4 times, and then some of the volunteers as well. So that just it goes to show that, these entities, these jinn and their children are around no matter where you go. But at the same time, I felt a clearing. I felt like there was some positive, angelic, I guess you could call it, positive entities in the area as well. And they won't let you know who they are, but they're there. And, I was able to spread maybe some good vibrations, maybe, that sort of thing. It's been a very interesting last couple of days. This last week has been very interesting. Because, again, after I had that that meditative session and experienced, something very beautiful. The entities are already are on you. They want it. They want to steal it from you, and so therefore the cops will immediately jump on you. They will look for any opportunity to arrest you and put you in a box and manipulate you, etc., etc. And so that's what happened to me. They pop out, the monsters pop out, and they got me for a little bit. Probably did a couple things, but the greatest one has a way, and in that way you can be cured, helped, and have those negative entities removed. And that's what happened to me today. Those negative entities were removed. They like to basically set up, just like the homeless set up camp, and unfortunately it's inside your body and without your permission, and it's a bitch getting them out. It really is. They just refuse to leave. And it's coupled with mind control and magnetic, or I'm not sure exactly how it is, but they use technology to interfere with many different things in your system, as well as doing the mind control and hurting you. But let's not take that away. Let's not let that take away from the beautiful day it was, and the people that come out and help and do many different things. It was really funny too, because I went to go get some food, and I asked a group of people who kind of like were sitting in an area, is it okay if I leave my stuff here? And they look at me and they say, yeah, that's fine. And then the guy says, well, I'm going to ask you when you get back why you looked at us. And so when I got back, it was a white lady, a white gentleman, and a black guy. When I got back, the white lady said, hey, why don't you just sit around for a while? We want to talk to you. And so I know something's up. At that point in time, I already realized that the negative entities are going to try to do something or say something or whatever. And then I sit there and kind of listen to the conversation, etc. And then the black guy starts talking to me, and he's like, so do you believe in Jesus Christ? And this is an ongoing theme with them that is starting to get old for me. It's really, it's starting to get silly and old. And I don't believe in the Jesus Christ that people believe in the Bible. Specifically because I know that the scribes, who were the Israelis, who were fake Jews, Russians from the Caucasus Mountains, are the ones who participated in rewriting the Bible and changing it for their needs, to suit their agenda. And I'm sure they had help from jinns, etc. And so, not only that, there's just, the research goes on and on. You can look it up on YouTube yourself, do your own research. Or it doesn't have to be YouTube, it could be anything. Libraries, if you want to travel the world and find out. But, a lot of it is not exactly how it's supposed to be. Yes, there is some wisdom in there, but you have to understand that the jinn mix wisdom with mix truth with lies. And so, when you're believing in this Jesus Christ fake person, you have to ask yourself, who is this person, and why in the world would I need to believe in that person over the Creator? Why would that person be that close to the Creator? In the Bible it says itself, through me, like Jesus is the gatekeeper. And that theme kind of keeps being run over and over again, especially when you think about the Catholic Church and how they have priests, the Pope, and all these other hierarchies that say that you need to pray to them or pray and ask for forgiveness from them instead of the Creator. The greatest one is Almighty. Doesn't need any help from anyone when it comes to prayer and forgiveness and all this other stuff. They've played a very good game in changing the reality of the situation that we're in. And I feel that they said, that you got a church on every corner. That's over 7, 8, 9, 10,000 different denominations. No one seems to know what's what. My mom's a minister, and getting through, talking to her about anything is like talking to a brick wall. And not only that, the churches are pretty much money laundering schemes. They're tax-free. Yet, at the same time, they have to go to the government to get a license. Literally, the government has to approve for a church to be erected. Now, I'm not saying that there aren't denominations and ministries that are better than others, but that are, I wouldn't say purer, but are maybe have a little bit more truth in them, and seek out truth speakers. But the reality is that it's a sham. It's a business. I've been in it. I've seen it for myself. I realize that, and all you have to do is turn on some of these religious channels, and you'll hear political advertisements. Vote Republican. You can only, because I'm a Christian, and all this other stuff. The evidence is unless you're completely numb to reality, the evidence is stacked upon itself. And things like There's not one person in the Bible that you can find a grave for. But if you look at, for example, Egyptian history, they clearly outline and mark the grave sites for many different people. Pharaohs, wives, priests, animals. They have gravestones for bulls and animals. Okay, clearly outlined and marked. But for some strange reason, you can't find one grave site. And they got people running around looking for the Ark and all this other bullshit. All I know is that if there are Jews involved, the fake Jews, if they are involved in anything that surrounds the Bible, then it's got to be filled with lies, because that's what those people do. Anyway, so got in the conversation with this guy, and he's telling me how, is your mom, when she's in a room, is she the number one person in the room? I'm like, yeah, because she's got a big freaking mouth. She's a narcissist. She only cares about herself. Talks and talks and talks, and doesn't care about anyone else's opinion. And so that like when you're a sensitive person and you want to actually have a conversation, it's very difficult to be equal when you're speaking with a narcissist who wants to control a situation, or wants to have all the attention. And so we didn't get into all that. I just, I left it as is. I didn't want to get in an argument. I was having a good day. But I found it very interesting that these entities keep pushing this agenda, even though they know that I know the truth about it. But they don't care. They have an agenda. And with that agenda, they have to force their opinion. And, that goes with everything else that's going on. Once I left, I experienced, basically, it took an hour to get there. So for an hour, I just experienced constant mind control and attacking. And I was trying to look at the sunset, and, they're just talking and being a rude and disrespectful, and, disrupting, my peace of mind. And I don't know if they were hitting me with any type of beams, or if they had placed something in me. But regardless, they just didn't give a shit. And they just were angry. They get very angry when you go outside of their plan. Again, their agenda, they have an idea of what they want. And once you go out of that circle, it really pisses them off. I don't know if it's something with the timelines or what, but it forces them to recompensate or recalculate what they need to do and get their agents in place, and et cetera, et cetera. So on the way back, they had all sorts of agents on the road. I even had one person ride by me on his bike and take off his glasses, his sunshades, and stare at me. So they do weird stuff like that. I'm guessing he was putting on a curse, or trying to hurt me in some way. But they just it's like such a beautiful situation that was going on, and that they just have to interrupt it and hurt you, because you're not doing what they want. And it's really a sad situation. And I just wanted to say that, maybe it's time to explore a little bit more, get out there and meet new people, be a part of different communities, because of that diversity. You never know who you might run into. You never know who's out there doing their thing, and they may be able to help, and you may be able to help them as well. A positive relationship where both parties are helping each other instead of one just sucking out of the other, like a vampire. And that's what these things are. And so just want to leave on a positive note that, keep your head up and explore, go out, enjoy the world. Peace out.